Hello everyone, I'm Tony from Architect Fitness, and in this video I want to talk to you about 3 reasons why you might be out of shape or overweight. And I apologize that this isn't my usual video setup. I'm only running one camera today. Something happened this week that kind of prompted me to make this video and got these thoughts going through my head. And we are at the gym and we are kind of reorganizing some of our space to make it more efficient. And one of the spaces that we're remodeling is our locker room, which is basically just a room with some lockers and cubbies where clients can put their gym bags or their gym shoes and leave their programs when they're not at the gym. And this room is just kind of a mess. And I wanted to reorganize it, make it more efficient for the clients. And we started by going through a lot of the binders that were on the shelves where clients have their programs, and getting rid of the binders of people that aren't at the gym anymore. And even at a gym like Architect, where it's a tight-knit community, we get great results, people do quit. It's just a natural part of this business. Our attrition rate is definitely a lot better than most other gyms, but people still do leave. And if you look at the reasons why people leave the gym, if you go through our 5-year history, I would say the number one reason is people relocating. So there's nothing that we did wrong. It's not that they didn't like the gym, they didn't get results, but either they moved for work or for school or for family. And we actually have quite a few clients that unfortunately we've lost this way. But there is another group, and that is people who, for lack of a better way to put it, kind of just gave up on themselves. Whether they admit that to themselves or not, that is sometimes what happens, because we actually don't lose a lot of clients to other gyms in the area. It's something that's happened very, very rarely in 5 years. And of course, you know, we're not for everybody. Some people might just not like the environment or don't want to do the type of training that we usually utilize at the gym. And that's totally okay, but it doesn't happen that often. So we were taking these binders off the shelf. I was putting them into 2 piles, people who are still here and people who aren't here anymore. And there were quite a few people that aren't there at the gym anymore because it's been a while since we've gone through the shelf with all these binders on it. And as I was stacking this pile together with these people that aren't at the gym anymore, it made me really sad, because we're a small community, we're a tight-knit community. You get to know all of your clients very well when you're in a situation like this. And I remember pretty much everybody's first day, when everyone comes in for their free consultation to check the gym out. We take them through some baseline fitness testing, and we talk to them about their goals and their schedule and their health history and all that. That you remember all of that stuff. You remember when you sit down with somebody for the first time and you just met this person and they're telling you, yeah, I want to get in shape because I'm on all these medications and my doctor says if I don't get off them, then I'm going to be on them for the rest of my life, and I don't want to have to do that. Or people tell you things like, I went on vacation and I just wasn't comfortable taking my shirt off, or I couldn't keep up with my friends or my family when we were going and doing activities outside. And the thing you have to remember is people are divulging this information to me or Matt or Katie or Anna, and they just met us. So if they're talking to a near complete stranger about these things, then obviously they're pretty significant personal hang-ups that they have. These issues are really important to them, and these goals are really important to them. And the other thing you have to consider is, what are they not telling us? If you're going to tell a complete stranger these personal things, you're probably not going to tell them everything, though. So there's probably even more deeply seated emotional motivators for wanting to get in shape that they're not telling us about. Maybe some insecurities or something that they're ashamed of. And while everyone should love their own bodies and love themselves, you do have good reasons to want to get in shape. Life is usually better when you have better control over your body, when you feel more confident in your own skin. And that's why we do this job, because we want to help people get to that place. And we've seen dozens of people or hundreds of people get to that place over the years. So when I'm looking at this pile of binders with all these names on it, it was just kind of like a pile of forgotten dreams. And I'm sure that there are some people that leave and they find something that just for whatever reason helps them to stick with it better, or they just enjoy more, or whatever the case may be. And some people, of course, we're not the only way or only place in the world they get in shape, but many of those people end up doing almost nothing. And that sucks. It really kills me, actually, because you know how important that was to them to get in shape, and they kind of just give up on doing that. And sure, maybe they're going to come back to it at a later time, you know, somewhere else, but that's not usually the case. And it sucks to see people put their own goals on hold. So I was looking at this pile of binders, and it got me thinking about, you know, what is really stopping people from having success with fitness, whether that's at Architect or somewhere else. And the number one thing is that you cannot do this unless you are 100% committed to it. Because at Architect, you have myself, Matt, Anna, Katie, Gunnar, Jamie, Andy on our staff, and all of these people, myself included, spend the majority of their day thinking about how to get you better results, how to educate you, empower you, motivate you, support you. And we do have a really good system, but also a good community of people who are also rooting for you. None of that matters if you aren't going to take responsibility and put in the work. Nobody can want it for you. No one can force you to do it. No one can pay you to do it. There's been studies that have shown paying people to exercise does not improve their adherence. You just have to commit to doing it. It's not even a matter of motivation. It's a matter of just 100% taking responsibility. I cannot think of a time where someone came in, did the program exactly as prescribed, communicated with us, did all the things that we asked them to do, did all the things that we educated them on, and didn't see results. The only time people don't see results is when they don't take the responsibility to be consistent and to really put 100% faith and trust in the program. So let's talk about the 3 major reasons why you might be out of shape or overweight. The first one's a harsh one, but I had to put it first, and that is you believe your own bullshit. We all lie to ourselves, usually in the form of excuses. And it could be something as simple as like, oh, I'll go to the gym tomorrow, or I'll start on Monday, when we know deep down we're probably not going to do that. We know deep down that if we were really making it a priority, we would start right now, right at this very moment. There's no real reason to wait until Monday or tomorrow or to put it off. Of course, it would be nice to just be able to go home and relax at the end of a long work day, but really, if it's important to you, you're going to do it then and there. The lies that we tell ourselves can be something very small, like, oh, I'll start Monday. They can be really big lies, like, I just can't afford it, or I don't have the time. Those are 2 of the biggest ones we hear. And of course, it's not my job to tell you what your priorities should be. If you prioritize having a 75-inch flat screen TV, then that's cool. That's your thing. If you prioritize, having a $5 Starbucks cup of coffee every day, that's your prerogative to do so. If it's your priority to have 5 or 6 streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and all that stuff, hey, go for it. If that makes you happy, that's all good. But the deeply rooted insecurities that you might have, or inadequacies that you might feel, or just physically not feeling well, not feeling healthy and happy with your lifestyle, that you can't have it both ways. It's not like all the people who are at the gym are just these, ballin' millionaires that have all the free time in the world. It's just not the truth. Everyone is making sacrifices. And in fact, when people tell me that I don't have time, I always think of our client, Julie, who's been with us for a few years now. And Julie has a crazy work schedule. She's a midwife, and her schedule changes every week. Sometimes she works overnights, sometimes she works second shift, sometimes she works during the day like a regular 9 to 5, but it's always changing. She has 3 young kids from the ages of about 8 or 9 up to 14, 15 years old. And all of those kids are involved in basketball, soccer, swimming, dance, music, all these different activities that she's always carting them around to. Julie's husband also has a job where his schedule is constantly changing. Sometimes he works second shift, sometimes he works day shift, sometimes he's picking up extra shifts. So his schedule is always changing as well. And the kicker is they live 35, 40 minutes away from the gym. Yet Julie has been able to be one of our most consistent clients almost the entire time she's been at the gym. In fact, every month we give a shout out to the top 10 people who made the most visits to the gym in that month. And Julie is always consistently in that top 10. I think this past month she wasn't. That was like the first time in years that she hasn't been on that list. And I think that was more by way of just having so many new people that are just really, really dedicated and coming in right now, coming in a lot. So not having time isn't really an excuse, because we have some people that have just absolutely crazy schedules and they make it a priority. And when the gym is open 24 hours a day, it's hard to say that you don't have time, because when I used to coach at a facility that had group fitness, I saw that as a big drawback for people, right? Like, people couldn't make a specific class time, or maybe they got stuck at work late by a half hour and they just couldn't make the 4 o'clock class. And then they would say, oh, well, I'm not going to wait around till 5 or 6 or whenever the next class is. So they would just go home. That's why we do it the way we do it. It's not better for us business-wise. It's certainly not better for the coaches. We're there to coach during those coaching hours, whether 0 people come in or 25 people come in. And trust me, we have days where it's quiet. There's maybe bad weather or it's a holiday or whatever. Only 3 or 4 people come through in a 6-hour shift for a coach. So that is designed for the clients. And again, if it's not a priority for you, that's totally okay. I'm not saying that it has to be a priority, but I've seen so many people come in for consultations, and I've seen that look in their eyes when they're telling us their goals, but more importantly, why they have those goals. And you can see that these people aren't satisfied with their health and their body, or just something about their relationship with their body. And again, you should always respect and love yourself no matter what, but your body is your home. It's the only place that you have to live. It's the only thing that you can truly call yours. If you don't pay your taxes, you lose your house. If you don't pay your mortgage, you lose your house. If you don't pay your car payment, you lose your car. No one can take your body from you. It's really the only thing you truly own in this world. So you have to take care of it. And that's why it is so important to people. That's why people do get so emotionally attached to these goals. So when I see those people giving up on those goals, it really just kills me, because I know that if you can't do it in this ecosystem with all the access in the world, the coach there to help you, the program to take all the guesswork out of what you should be doing, all the additional videos and blogs we put out and posts, all the community activities. If you can't get it done with all of that support, I'm not saying you can't do it outside of that ecosystem, but man, it's going to be really hard. So that's the number one thing, is just believing the BS that we tell ourselves sometimes. And I've been in that exact situation. I was there the first year that we opened the gym. I was just working crazy hours. I was stressed out all the time about making the business work. And you just don't make it a priority for yourself. And next thing you know, you're not super happy with your physique, how you feel, your energy levels, all of that. So don't believe your own BS. That's the first thing. you got to overcome if you want to succeed. Number two, the number two reason why you are not in shape or you might be overweight is you are not consistent or patient enough. There's 168 hours in a week. Even if you train 5 days a week for an hour each workout, which is a good amount of training, that's still less than 3% of your total week dedicated to exercising. In the big scheme of things, it's going to take a long time for those effects to accumulate. In fact, think of it this way. Let's say you were saving up for a new car and the car you wanted to buy cost $15,000. And you decided that you were going to put aside 3% of your weekly paycheck to a savings fund to save up for this car. How long would it take you to save up based on what you make right now? Take a minute, do the math. Okay, probably going to take you a while no matter how much you make, right? Now, how long is it going to take you if this week you save 3%, next week you save 0%, the week after that you save 1%, the week after that you save 0% again, so on and so forth. It works the same way with training. If you train 5 days this week, but only once the week after that, and only twice the week after that, and then no times the week after that, you're just not gonna see the results that you want to see. It takes a lot of consistency. And let's use the goal of weight loss as an example, since a lot of people do have this goal. Average healthy weight loss is about a pound a week if you do everything right. And what does doing everything right mean? Well, I would say that would be doing at least 3 workouts in the week, about an hour each, walking 10,000 steps per day, not including your workouts, eating in a calorie deficit for 7 days straight, and eating 20 or more grams of fiber per day for a week. If you do all of that, I would expect you to lose 1 pound of body weight. Now, if you have 50 pounds to lose, how long is that going to take you? That's right, it's going to take you 50 weeks, or in other words, just about a year. That is if you do everything right. And you're not going to do everything right. Nobody does everything right all of the time. And you don't even have to do everything right all the time. You just have to consistently put in some effort and try to be your best week in and week out over a long period of time. It's not uncommon for clients to come in 35, 45, 50 years old, never exercised before, wildly out of shape, and say, "Do you think I'll start seeing results in the first month?" You've spent an entire lifetime building the habits that have gotten to where you are now, and all of a sudden you think that it's going to be reversed in a month or even 6 months. It's just not how science and the human body works. I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but it just takes a very long time. And the sooner that you come to grips with the idea that you have to exercise or should be exercising for the rest of your life, the easier it's going to be. This isn't something that you should be doing for 6 months or even a year and just say, well, I got to this point, now I can stop doing it. You're going to have to maintain activity for the rest of your life, because as soon as you stop doing that, your body's just going to revert back to how it was before you exercised. That's just an unfortunate truth of life. It doesn't necessarily have to be an architect, but you're going to have to do something for the rest of your life. Okay, the last reason why I think you might be out of shape or overweight is because you think that you can outwork your eating habits. This is very common. People think that if they exercise hard enough that they can eat whatever they want, or they don't have to pay any attention to their nutrition or make any changes with their nutrition. I can understand why people might think this way. Sometimes you come into the gym and you just work super hard and you feel absolutely obliterated when you're done. And you think, man, there's no way that this isn't just burning thousands of calories and I'm working so hard that that's all I really need to do, as long as I just hammer down on my workouts. That's not the case. You can only get so much done as far as calorie burning in an hour or 2 hours of exercise. And really, there are so many more reasons to exercise than just calorie burn. And so your workout should be focused on building some of those other physical attributes and skill sets that you can get from exercising. But in reality, it doesn't take long to out-eat your training. So again, if you burn, let's say, even 1,000 calories in a single workout, which is really high, most people aren't burning that much, go take a look at your average meal at a chain restaurant like Applebee's or 99. You'll be hard pressed to find meals that are under 1,000 calories, and you can eat one of those meals in 15 to 30 minutes. So it's super easy to out-eat all the hard work that you do in the gym. Many of us probably know someone that started a new workout program and did lose a bunch of weight, and they feel great and they look great. That's just not the reality for most of us. Everyone's in a different situation, so perhaps that person was at a point where their nutrition really wasn't that bad, and the tipping point for them was just adding in some exercise. That was the missing piece to their puzzle. But that's pretty uncommon. Most people need to make some adjustment to their exercise habits, but also their eating habits. There's an old saying that comes from the bodybuilding community, which is abs are made in the kitchen. And basically all that's really saying is, nutrition is so important to your body composition and your body weight. You can't outwork it in the gym. It's just not an efficient means of doing that for most people. So to summarize, 3 of the big reasons why you might be out of shape or overweight is 1, you believe your own BS, 2, you're not consistent and patient enough, and 3, you think you can outwork your poor eating habits. I'm really sorry if this video came across as harsh or cruel. That's not at all our intention. There's a lot of jobs in this world that people can do to earn a living. The reason why we do this one is because we are absolutely passionate about helping people. We've been there when people have said, "Oh my gosh, you changed my life, you saved my life." And while those are really strong words that I don't like to use to describe what we do, it does feel really good when you know you can be a part of someone making such a big positive change in their life. And whether that's for themselves or for their kids to be a better role model, or whatever the motivation is, it just feels really good to do that kind of work. That's why we do this. We are always here to help people, and we will never quit on you as long as you don't quit on yourself. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. While I sit on my couch, we'll see you in the next video.